Hello friends. So today's video is a little bit unconventional. It's a little different from my usual recommendations videos. What I'm going to be doing is going through some satirical articles, reading through them, and then really pulling at what the main message is within these satirical articles, and then finding for you a book that really matches that theme. The site that I'm pulling these satirical articles from would be The Onion. If you don't know about The Onion, I'm giving you a heads up now that if you don't like dark humor, be careful when you go to The Onion. If you are a tender-hearted, really nice person, some of the satire might break you. But there's also a lot of really silly ones on there, and those are primarily the ones I'm going to be looking at. To give you an example of the kinds of things that you see on The Onion, this one is also very relevant to right now, given that we have the Rings of Power TV show. One of their satirical articles says, "Diehard Tolkien fans are boycotting the show because its female orcs aren't attractive enough." So that gives you a taste of what we're going to be looking at. The very first one that we're going to be diving into says, "Tigers center fielder crashes into outfield wall just to feel something." Detroit, facing yet another crushing loss during a long season on one of the worst teams in baseball, Detroit Tigers center fielder Riley Green told reporters this week that he had crashed into the outfield wall just to feel something. Quote, "Did I need to run full speed into the outfield wall when that ball was clearly a home run? No, I did it because nothing else works." Sorry, said Green, adding that he had tried to alleviate his suffering through other means, including hard head first slides and crashing into his teammates in the outfield, but everything he had tried left him still feeling numb. Quote, "It's tough out here when we keep losing. I'm just miserable, and it doesn't seem like there's any hope that we'll ever be good. So when I saw that outfield wall, I figured, hey, what do I have to lose? Maybe it'll hurt, and I hope it does, because at this point, I honestly need to know that I'm still capable of feeling anything but this darkness." If you know my usual thoughts on books and characters, you can probably already guess what I'm going to recommend. But it was important to me that I make it very clear why I'm recommending this particular story due to its particular character. So really at the core of this, we have somebody who, they're going through something, you know? Life is just not being favorable towards them right now. And so they just are going out of their way to ensure that there's something that makes them feel like a person again, that reminds them that there is something to life, even if that thing is discomfort or pain. And the character that fits this perfectly is Fitz from the Farseer trilogy. Fitz is a moody boy. Fitz has had a lot in his life go wrong. First off, he's the illegitimate son to nobility, and when this is discovered, he is whisked off to live among the nobles, who all treat him like garbage. He is going to live among them. He's going to have to deal with all of their looks and their glares and the mistreatment that they hand out to him on a regular basis. He's going to have to deal with that while having none of the luxuries that any of them have, and having none of the luxuries that freedom outside of their life would also grant him. So you get it. You understand why things are rough. When he's a child, he doesn't understand really, which is really hard to see. And then as he gets older and he just really wants something in his life, he's like, you know what? Life is terrible. I'm going to just embrace all my emotions and be the moodiest boy I can be. There's a particular scene in the second book, Royal Assassin, that I will never forget because it is so dramatic and it really parallels this article perfectly. Fitz decides, after having some bad news delivered to him, that he will go down to his rooms in this keep and open the windows so that the storm lets all the rain into his room, and then it soaks the floor, and he's sitting down, and the fire is going, and he lets the fire go out. He doesn't light any candles. He doesn't do anything to bring light to the room. He just sits in the darkness, and when people try to knock on his door, he just ignores them. It is so dramatic. And I just feel like him and center fielder Green would really connect. Switching now to the next one. The headline for this says, "Far-right Republican wondering what he has to do to get the media to stop calling him moderate." In Washington, wondering if anyone had even looked at his voting record, Representative David Hoffman, Republican from North Carolina, a far-right member of Congress, reportedly wondered Tuesday what he had to do to get the media to stop calling him a moderate. Quote, "No matter how much hateful and extremist rhetoric I use, the media refuses to stop calling me a centrist." He added that even liberal pundits referred to him as, quote, "a rare voice of reason," within the GOP despite his votes to strip healthcare from millions, inhumanely detain migrants at the border, and impose harsh sentences for minorities who commit nonviolent crimes. I've worked in my district to curb voting access. I've claimed the 2020 presidential election was stolen, ignoring the fact that I won on the same ballot. I honestly don't know what else I can do. This is not meant to be a political thing. The reason I'm bringing this up is because there is a character that I thought of when I saw that, and this character would be Kenneth. So I didn't mean for this to be kind of a Robin Hobb recommendations video, but this character also comes from a Robin Hobb book. Kenneth comes from the Live Ship Trader series. Kenneth wants to be king of the pirates, which sounds ridiculous, but it's not ridiculous in the book. It's actually very cutthroat and violent and dark. There's a lot of dark things that happen. But Kenneth is somebody who has clearly lived a rough life, and he wants all the glory and the power. Kenneth assumes everybody is going to betray him. Kenneth is cruel. Kenneth often says terrible things to people. You also get to see a little bit inside Kenneth's head, and you understand his motivations, you understand why he's taking certain actions, and they're always to make sure that he obtains what he wants. They're always focused on himself, they're always selfish. However, what makes him a fascinating character is he has luck on his side. Time and time and time again, Kenneth will do something awful, and he knows it's awful, and sometimes he even digs a little bit into something, but the way that something plays out, people end up seeing him as a hero. They think he's their savior. They think, oh my gosh, this man is divine. He is the thing we've all been waiting for. A perfect example is Kenneth. I don't want to give too many details because I don't want to get into spoilers, but Kenneth goes after a ship that has slaves on board. He wants to get something for himself later. So he ends up attacking the ship and freeing the slaves, and he kind of just wants to just leave them on some random plot of land in the middle of nowhere, not realizing that on that plot of land, there are actually other people who knew those people that he just saved, and they are so happy, and they think Kenneth basically is an angel. They're like, oh my gosh, how did you do it? How did you know? You are amazing. And he's like, thank you. I'm just a humble servant of all of you. And you're like, no, you're not. You're really selfish. What does this guy have to do for people to realize that he's a terrible person? Because he is. You can see it. You see the darkness in him, and you're fascinated and you can't look away, but you're like, when are people going to see what he really is? And I just thought it fit this particular article perfectly. After that, we have one that mentions some adult type of things. So if your kiddos are around, maybe turn the volume down or put your headphones in. This one says, owners freeze as Alexa begins moaning along to sex. New Bern, North Carolina. Slowly pulsing its blue light while emitting low, slow sighs of pleasure, a local Amazon Alexa reportedly caused its owners to freeze in the middle of intercourse Wednesday after it started moaning along. Oh yeah, baby, right there, that feels so good, said the nearby Amazon Alexa, who, between robotic moans, proceeded to activate surround sound, switch the bedroom lights to on, and let out a deep guttural oh, as its terrified nude owners stared over their shoulders in utter disbelief. Quote, oh my god, oh yeah, mommy likes that, harder, harder, oh, I'm so okay. Quote from Alexa, oh my god, oh yeah, mommy likes that, harder, harder, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get that, please check your internet connection, device status offline. At press time, the Amazon Alexa had reportedly accidentally yelled, I love you, turned her light from blue to red, and ordered the couple a $300 swing. So what is the message of this? The message, clearly, of this satirical article, AI gaining a little too much sentience, wanting to act a little bit too much like a person. And if you're like, what's a book that has that in it? Then I would say give the Arc of the Scythe trilogy a try. The Arc of the Scythe trilogy is a dystopian or utopian, depending on how the characters see it, society. It's our own world, but very much in the future where we have conquered death. There's no more war. Basically, everything is peachy, except for there's a threat of overpopulation because nobody dies anymore. And so the way to ensure that overpopulation doesn't occur is that society has decided to have certain individuals whose jobs it is to permanently end someone's life. And these individuals are called scythes. Our main two perspectives are characters who become apprentices to a scythe. They don't want to be an apprentice to the scythe. Also, the way in which mankind is being taken care of is through something called the Thunderhead, which was an AI that basically gained sentience and is nice and is taking care of everybody. However, as you might expect, AI wonder, and this AI wonders, much like Alexa with this couple. That's it for some book recommendations based off of some satirical articles. If you are interested in checking any of these books out, I'll have some other videos where I talk about them in the description bar, as well as some purchase links. And hopefully this brought a chuckle to your day. Hopefully this was something silly and fun that brightened your day a little bit, in case it's a rough one, or maybe it's a great day, and hopefully this made you laugh as well. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all later. Bye.